Hey guys, it's a beautiful fall day here in the mountains of Colorado, and I've been home for a few weeks now from Burning Man, letting my experience kind of land and settle. And I wanted to share with you a little bit about my experience because I think there's a lot of myths about Burning Man, and I wanted to share with you that my experience was very, very different from what most people think that it is. So there are 10 guiding principles of Burning Man. The Burning Man was founded with these 10 principles, these core principles that shape the community and the experience and the way that people behave with each other. And I'm not going to go through all 10 principles, but I want to share with you 3 principles that I feel are, to me, the ones that were perhaps most impactful from my experience as a first-time burner at the ripe old age of 57, by the way. So I was the oldest person in my camp, and no big deal. There was about 30 of us. Shout out to the House of Sandwich. We had this amazing art car created by my buddy Mike, and we were giving out gourmet grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with cinnamon butter toast, and we did one night of a savory ham and cheese sandwich. So the first core principle, in alignment with giving away whatever people come to give away, because it's a non-monetary society where everybody that comes brings a contribution, and so that core principle is giving. So the foundational principle that I felt like for me impacted me more than anything else at Burning Man was this notion of generosity and giving, of everyone coming to a contribution. It's a society that contributes gifts for no reason to all of your fellow men and women that are there. And I felt like that aspect stood out to me as being something that was, potentially more life-changing than the other principles, because I felt like everybody, as a result of just in this place of giving and receiving freely without expecting anything in return, which is so unlike oftentimes regular life, right? It took us out of ourselves and basically created this energetic, this high vibration that you could actually palpably feel throughout the entire playa there on the grounds of Burning Man. And so that energetic higher ground, that basically freedom to give and love and not have any judgment. It was basically a judgment-free zone. And it was based in this culture and this love of giving. And so I felt like that was amazing. Like, I just felt that every single day. I woke up, I rode my bike around, I met strangers, and everybody was so loving and so accepting and so judgment-free that I've never experienced anything like that in my life. So I wanted to share that. If you ever get the chance to go, say what you want about the raves and potentially people doing substances, and lots of people were also there sober, and there's also a whole kid area for families to experience this culture of humans and being able to share that with children as well. So, and I don't have any, position. This is not taking a position about whether you should bring a child to Burning Man or not. Maybe it's not appropriate. Maybe it is. That's not for me to say. But the culture of giving and generosity for just the purpose of putting a smile or putting love into the heart of your fellow human is something that I've never experienced before. And so I can't wait to go back and experience that again. The other 2 principles that I felt really shaped and formed my experience were, number 1, radical self-reliance, and relying on one's own self and showing up and not making excuses and not depending on anybody else for anything that you need. So I knew that in advance, and I took great care and lots of effort into making sure that I was going to show up, that I had everything that I needed, so I didn't have to rely on anybody else. And that actually made me feel more, even fall in love with myself more and love all the parts of myself even more, because I was only relying on me. And my deservingness went up as a result. And so when you continue to vibrate at a higher level because your deservingness, you're realizing like you deserve all the things. You deserve all the love. You deserve the self-love. You strip away that self-judgment, that self-blame, that negative self-talk. It all goes away because you're showing up fully for yourself. And so that happened. And a couple times I was in an interesting, dilemma. I was in a windstorm the very last night and I got lost, and because you couldn't see any of the roads and everybody was running around lost, and I was by myself. I got separated from my tribe and I had to get myself back to my RV, and I was really lost, and I had to ask a couple people for directions, but I had my light, I had my phone was helping me find my way because it had a navigation on it, and I found my way, and I was safe. So that radical self-reliance is incredible, because you know that you can come back home to yourself, and that you deserve everything all the love that you want to give to yourself, but sometimes you feel like you don't deserve it. All of that is gone. And then the final thing was radical self-expression. So I'm wearing my hat because I wear this hat a lot, and I had 3 or 4 different really cool kind of steampunk type hats, and so many fun outfits. I really, really, really enjoyed the radical self-expression part. I've always loved dressing in costume. I've always loved, dressing up and being crazy and just being super self-expressive. And that part of me was feeling so creatively charged and just like a little kid again. Exactly. It feels like Halloween every day. And so for those of you that like Halloween, or that you enjoy dressing up and you do festivals and different things, it's something that I think really speaks and touches my inner child. And so that was really, really fun. It was so amazing because I had so much fun with the fashion and the styling and just different accessories and hats, and also giving. Like I gave a beautiful, it was, an outfit with more sequins than I think anything else I owned. I gave it to a girlfriend, a new friend that I made, because I just wanted to give it to her because she's such a love. And also it was a little bit small for me, and I just gave it to her, and it fits her like a glove. And I was like, I had a feeling, because I was like, I could return this, but I can just keep it, and then I can give it to somebody that touches my heart and continue that vibration of giving. So I did that too, and it just was cool. So if those kinds of principles and those ways of living, even though it was only for 8 days, speak to you and call to you, then you'll be called to go and experience it. And I wanted just to take a moment. I know this is a longer video, but I wanted to share some of these highlights of my experience at Burning Man. So many of you have asked me, so many of you guys have written me or texted me and wanted to know more. And so hopefully this helps you understand the appeal of why people go back year after year. It's not just a party. It's not a festival. It's not a concert. It's way more than that, guys. It is a way of life, not to mention all the art. I mean, the art was insane. If you like art, if you like creativity and self-expression and, beauty, and amazing vibration, this culture of giving, and really it's a whole community and way of life in the desert that, exists for a week, and then we burn it all down. And there's something to that as well, which is the burning all down piece frees you up from the attachment of whatever you made, whatever you put all of this blood, sweat, and tears into. You burn it at the end, because then you release yourself from the attachment. And that is incredibly powerful as a practice, is to not be attached to the outcome, not be attached to the humans in your life, not be attached to the way things have to be or supposed to be, not having to have control over something being a certain way and getting your underwear all in a bunch about when it doesn't work out that way. Is get rid of all of those attachments in your life, and you will free yourself up for a much more incredible experience of life that is fully just tied into whatever the isness is of the moment, and not being attached to the way that it should be, or that it was supposed to be, or that you expected it to be, and just freeing off those attachments. So the burn at the end is also very spiritually tied in to the essence of what it means to be human, and just be in the power of now and not be attached. So wanted to share that. There was a spiritual component to the journey for sure. A lot of fun, fashion, art, great people, amazing humanity and giving. And yeah, some people were partying, but that's not, to me, the essence of what Burning Man is about. So thanks for watching this video.